All
All right.
Yeah.
You got live.
It'll be live though. Just so you know.
Yo, the kid is back. What's up, fellas?
Yeah, what up? What up?
What's happening, man? What's happening?
I need an encore, y'all. Y'all should wishing me back. Yo, how's everything going out there, fellas?
The gang is back. God damn. All four niggas back.
The four horsemen, man. The four horsemen.
I see y'all motherfuckers in a long ass time. It just
Yeah, all of us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I've been seeing a light skinned nigga to the left of me.
Why you gotta be all that? That man did not do anything to you to deserve that.
I don't know. This is like one of them new editions. They all get together and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, this is the home again new edition.
Merv is clearly the Bobby Brown of the bunch.
Clearly. I'm not like bad Bobby Brown, not good Bobby Brown, but bad Bobby Brown.
Of course.
Well, I can't be my prerogative, Bobby Brown.
Wait a minute. Hey, Shawn, is he Murder Inc. Bobby Brown or no?
Damn.
He's right after that. That's Bobby Brown had got the gut. You know what I mean? He's right after that one. Like, hey, to be Bobby Brown then, can be Bobby Brown now, Merv. So
hell no.
Damn.
That motherfucker can't even. He do it. That motherfucker can't even dance after about 3 steps. That motherfucker breathing hard. That motherfucker got pause and start back dancing.
Merv is the
you
Bobby
remember
Brown
the verses
coming out of the helicopter with the kick on the Thug Lovin' video.
No, after that, he's the Bobby Brown that had the gut and just couldn't really perform on stage.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like after that.
He called you the versus Bobby Brown. Damn.
Yeah, the versus Bobby Brown. Versus Bobby Brown. Hard on his luck.
Oh, goodness.
He got much going for himself. It's like he just here to get the check.
Yeah, you know what? It's been about a month and a half, since I was able to say this, but fuck you, Shawn. Damn, that felt good. That felt good. That's why I'm stressed. I haven't been able to tell you fuck you in about a month and a half. I feel so good now. It's like everything is just off my shoulders and shit. It's like, whew.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Wow. So y'all negative already, I see.
Oh shit.
What did it do, Becca? Yeah, I'm back. I'm about to bing. I'm back. Yo.
Finally made bail. Congratulations. Shit.
Yeah, made bail.
Oh man, I wasn't supposed to teleview that. My bad. Shit.
Now I was doing an investigation on watching the football team, man. We almost done. We almost at the end. We're about to finish that whole squad up. We about to turn that whole situation in. No more watching the football team after next week.
Here we go with this bullshit.
Yo, Marc, how's it going, man? I'm gonna flip it over to you, man. Let's get this thing going. I'm ready to pop, man.
Absolutely, man. We gotta start off in the NFL, man. We gotta start off with that first. The fireworks kicked off actually on Thursday. Packers, Cardinals walked in undefeated, but walked out with an L. You know what I'm saying? And the impressive thing about it is the Packers might have had about 4 or 5 starters out, and they still did it. And I'm talking just on the offense. You know what I'm saying? I watched the game. I watched that whole game start to finish, man. And that Packers defense, was able to step up. As soon as the Cards would try to put something together, the Packers had an answer for them, was able to stop, like some key plays, stuff that they like to do. And I'm just like, man, that was an impressive win. I mean, probably one of the most impressive wins I've seen this season.
But here's my take though. Should they have won really? Did you see how the fuck?
Oh yeah,
lost that
well,
game,
the Cardinals fell apart. I admit that. You know what I'm saying? They definitely fell apart, especially that last play that should have went to AJ Green, but he wasn't looking for the ball. Yeah,
He let the whole state of South Carolina down.
I was like, man, but I'm gonna say like this: it's a lot of stuff that they like to run. That Green Bay was getting there early on those plays, them little wheel routes they like with that little dude Moore or whatever, that giving them chunk yards, 15, 20 yards. Yep. They was shutting that right down. Like, you ain't getting that tonight. Right, you know what I'm saying? And that's those are the kind of plays that set up the big plays for them. And when they couldn't get them little plays going, then I'm saying it wasn't no big plays really happening down the field after that either.
Right. That was a good game, man. Oh, go ahead, Murph. Go ahead.
I was saying, the game shouldn't even come down to no fucking play to AJ Green. Arizona was fully fucking healthy, yo, and they added Zach Ertz. They already had Nuke Hopkins. They had AJ Green. They had Chase. They got Connors. Then they added Zach Ertz. So, and then you got a dual threat quarterback that can run and pass, that's been having like MVP type season this year. They're undefeated. They done beat a lot of good teams. So the game shouldn't have been a damn close, because you got Green Bay without Devontae, no Tay, and no the second. The number 2 wide receiver was out.
Yeah, Lazard. He was out.
You got Aaron Rodgers passing to fucking 3rd, 4th, and 5th string wide receivers.
Yeah,
he is Aaron Rodgers though. So
yeah. As much as I don't like him,
but see, this is why you play the game. It don't matter what talent you got. You got to show up and play. You know what I'm saying? Right. This is why you play the game.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. They ain't show up and play because there's no fucking way they should have lost that fucking game.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though, man? It seems like it was a long time ago since people was calling Aaron Rodgers old when they were 0-1. They lost this week one. They've not lost since.
The sport, this 21st century sports media, sports world, sports fans, they irritate the fuck out of me. They just do.
Speak on it.
Because as soon as a motherfucker play bad, that motherfucker's washed.
Yeah. One bad quarter, Merv.
As soon as a motherfucker play bad, that motherfucker is washed.
Man,
and it's like it's like you don't have a chance to damn go through a slump and come out that shit.
Yeah.
So if you get a little age to you and you play bad for about 2 or 3 games, you'll go ahead, trade them, release them. We need to get somebody else.
Man, it's what have you done for me lately league, man. That's all it is. Yeah. I mean, but Murph, back to your point about the Cards, D Hop actually went out. I think was it the first or second quarter.
He went out multiple times too. I think he tried to come back in and then went back out again.
Right. He pulled a hammy, I think. So he was out majority of the game. After he scored that touchdown, he was done. And oh boy, what's his name? Is it Watt? He actually he was out too.
JJ Watt.
Watt went out. He need to go retire. He get hurt too much.
He get hurt. Yeah, they say he had like a shoulder, a wrist, elbow, arm, leg, arm, head. Everything was messed up with
everything.
This guy,
everything injured.
Everything injured. And but still, to Murph's point, I mean, Green Bay didn't really have much at all. And it still came through. Yeah, Mo, you see it. Cowboys run the East. You see it. Cowboys run the East.
Man.
We'll get into that in a second. I don't. We ain't gonna talk about that too much. I want to jinx us right now. But Green Bay still scares me because for some crazy reason
they should. They've owned y'all like forever.
Yeah, we can't. Whoa. That's like the Washington football team fan. Yeah, like the Washington football team, like the world on fire. But Green Bay scares me. The Cards, I seen some chink in their armor. I'm hoping that they are, what they were the other night. I think people were waiting for the Cardinals to lose. And I mean, we saw that. They lost to a good Green Bay team that they should have beat, to be honest. Like Merv said, Green Bay was depleted with weapons. You still got A-Rod, but they were depleted. And that Cardinals defense, man, could not stop them at all.
Well, they couldn't stop the run, and that's what set up everything else. And yeah, I mean, sometimes when you face a defense, you got to punch him in the mouth, and that's what Green Bay was doing. That A.J. Dillon, yeah, I mean, was running. It's like he was running through a brick wall. It didn't matter what they had up front. He was just running through them. Every time they needed a third down or a fourth down conversion, they gave him and he would get, like 5 yards a carry or something like that. So just like, you got to be tough up front, and they weren't.
Yep.
I want to say something real quick. I don't want to dive into it because we didn't talk about it before, but I got to say it. And this is, Green Bay has cheated Aaron Rodgers' career. They have wasted Aaron Rodgers' career because he make bums at wide receivers look good, and it feel like he don't need help, not knowing that they're doing good because of Aaron Rodgers' placement of the fucking ball and fucking arm talent. So can you imagine in these past 10 plus years of Aaron Rodgers, they actually provided him a Randy Moss, a Terrell Owens, a Marvin Harrison, Nuke Hopkins. Can you just imagine they gave him some offensive talent, a Chase? Like, they really could have been something like Patriots, kind of. It could have been like Green Bay Patriots. So, yeah, if you gave them that, if you gave Aaron Rodgers that kind of talent.
So, Merv,
well, I mean, they gave him Devontae Adams. I mean, Devontae Adams was one of the best.
You act like Devontae Adams wouldn't be shit without Aaron Rodgers. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I can't say that right now, but I'll put it this way. Every Pro Bowl wide receiver that we thought was big shit that has left Green Bay, what the fuck have they done?
And Jordy Nelson comes to mind. Jordy Nelson comes to mind immediately when we talking about that.
Yeah, he's more of a downfield guy. I don't know why they try to make him. They try to really make him to be more than what he was. He's a guy, catch that long pass. You know what I'm saying?
He can blow the top off that defense, though. He can blow the top off a defense, man. The thing about Aaron Rodgers, man, Aaron Rodgers came up small in a lot of big games in the playoffs. He had that great run when they won the Super Bowl, but he came up small when they needed him the most.
So my rebuttal to that is when you're in the playoffs, you playing against equal talented people that's just as equal talented teams that's just as good as you or maybe better. And in the playoffs, that's when talent wins. You need some talent.
Right.
All right. So a lot of times when Green Bay is going against better, talented overall teams, whether you're talking about offense, defense, and special teams. Green Bay has just been Aaron Rodgers for every year, probably with exception of like maybe 2 or 3 years. You really could call that team the Aaron Rodgers Packers. I mean, no running game, no defense.
But you can say the same for Tom Brady teams, except Tampa Bay teams. Yeah,
the defense and the special teams always been on point.
Shoot, yo,
Tom Brady didn't have to win every game. The first two Super Bowls of Tom Brady was average.
I mean, okay. Let's get into another. Speaking of Tom Brady, let's get into another game. Saints, Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Saints starting quarterback Jameis Winston went down early. Saints won anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say like this though, right? And we're gonna get into that play in a minute because that was a chicken shit play by that guy. But I'm gonna say like this though, right? Playing in New Orleans, it's a tough place to play. It's just a tough place to play. And even when the Saints, didn't have, for those teams that were winning 10 and 11 games every year, when they had, they were like 7-9, 8-8, it was still a tough place to play in. It's just a tough place to play, man. And I remember talking to Mo, and he was just like, yo, man, I'm trying to tell you, I don't think the Bucks are going to win this joint. Like, he said it, you know what I'm saying, for the Thursday night when we was watching the Packers-Cards game. He's like, I don't think they're going to win that joint. And they did. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, So I'm just like, it was a good game though. But that boy Simeon came in there, and I'm like, man, it's not like he tore it up, but he ain't fold either. He ain't fold under no pressure either. And I was just like, man, when you got your third stringer coming in, and he ain't folding under no pressure, I ain't gonna be scared out this joint. I was like, that's what's up. I'm like, man, most third stringers, man, I mean, would just fold under the pressure. You were third stringers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he did.
He held his own, man. Like you said, it's hard to win in New Orleans. I don't care what team they put on that field. It is hard to win in New Orleans, especially when you playing that division game. Sean Payton get his guys ready to play division games. Tampa Bay, they shouldn't have a loss to New Orleans. When New Orleans had when Jameis Winston went out and that Tampa Bay New Orleans defense picked up, I said, oh boy, it's gonna be a long game for those guys. And they couldn't do anything with them. Like Simeon should not have got them that W, man. Honestly, no way.
I'm like,
no
man,
way.
I'm like, and the thing is, this is the same guy from Denver. Like, right. We seen him. he ain't looked that good in Denver.
He was a damn bum in Denver.
Yeah, but y'all. So I know Tampa Bay is 6-1, but their passing secondary sucks. It's fucking terrible.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, they're 6-1 because Tom Brady is leading the league in touchdown passes and yardage. Like their offense is winning games, and you can't run against them. But their secondary, their passing game is fucking terrible.
Well, if you can get past that defensive line, you know what I mean?
You
you're
can
good.
Pass the ball.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, man, listen. You know what I'm saying? That defensive line be ripping through some of them offensive line. They don't even have time to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? The fact that if you give them some time, you can throw against that secondary.
Tampa Bay passing defense is like 31 or some shit in the league.
Yeah.
They defense line in that fucking. Their defense line is good against the rush. Not against the pass.
Well, Merv, to your point.
Well, they got to get to the quarterback. You know what I mean? When they get to the quarterback, they don't have problems.
Y'all remember game one, Dallas against Tampa Bay, but we was wondering why Dallas wasn't running the ball because of that front four. And, you know, Dak played so well that game that you didn't even think that he had a layoff. I think he had over 300 yards passing, such and such. But they
400.
Historically, 400 yards passing. But I think that that's their Achilles heel. I mean, you don't have to run on those guys. Like, I was baffled that Dallas wasn't running the ball because they got Zeke and Pollard back there. But somebody reminded me, it's like, hey, that D line. So I think that's the keys to their success. They got to fix that if they expect to go back to the Super Bowl.
But you know what though? You know what I'm surprised at? The play of their linebackers is, you know, average at best. I mean, considering the talent that the Bucs have at linebacker, that, you know, they're getting burned on coverages. You know, the tight ends are getting the ball. You know, they're catching on them. You got running backs coming out of the backfield, 10-yard pass, slot guys are making guys miss and stuff. I'm just like, wait a minute, hold up. You know what I mean? Y'all got some good linebackers here, but y'all not really playing like that good in coverage. Like, that's a little surprising to me. You know, that they ain't playing that well in coverage.
Not for me, because I do like Stacks mentioned, I think they lean on that front four so heavy that they play at such a high level during that Super Bowl run. It hit the cornerbacks and it hit the linebackers. But now teams are actually the game planning better for them. If you look at what Dallas did, when Dallas throwing the ball against them, they had a lot of success. When they got cute, that's when they didn't have success, because that front four was rushing really heavy. You get you a team that has a stout offensive line and has a good scheme, which what Sean Payton did, and you guys know Sean Payton, he's still one of the best at game planning. And he game planned the shit out of that game, because you can see where he was shifting his line so much that front four couldn't even get into a rhythm, because they were getting that ball out quick. Even when Jameis Winston was throwing that ball down the field before he got injured, that ball was coming out quick.
That's what you got to do against Tampa too. That's what you got to do against them.
And I'm gonna say like this: one thing, I mean, I'm gonna speak on this injury, right? And any injuries like it. To me, I think that's in basketball, that's a flagrant 2. You know what I mean? You try to, you know what I mean, hurt a man like that, you know what I mean, you get suspended. It's no way that guy, you know what I mean, shouldn't have been suspended. You know what I'm saying? It's a legal tackle. We all know it. We all seen it. Now the guy's out for the season. You don't get a suspension. Come on, man. You know what I mean? That should be 1-2 games at least.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. Was it avoidable? I mean, do you just let him go in that instance, or
You got to, man. You got to preserve him, man. If that's your last resort to do a horse collar attack, and again, football, you go and Murph plays safety, so man, the game is going so fast.
He was a dirty player, so
you don't think about. Yeah, I can tell he probably dirty. He probably like jabbing cats in the eye in the ball. Yeah. When they jump in the pile, jamming cats in the eye, grabbing their nuts and stuff.
Now in the pile, it all goes. It's all legal in the pile.
I was just a headhunter, nigga.
Yeah.
Headhunter.
We're like a headhunter.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about my body.
Right. You just
reckless abandon. Damn.
And when the game is going that fast, man, they're not thinking about technique at that point when it comes to like you trying to track down the quarterback, you trying to stop him from getting that extra yard. And you got to beat on him. That's how Roy Williams was. The safety from Dallas back in the day. He was, they just banned the horse collar because of him. All he would do is just grab him by the back of the neck and just yank him down. You know what I mean? But that's when you're out of position. When you have to do that, I mean you're out of position. So you use the most desperate move you can, and that's to grab the back of their freaking their jersey, man, and they pull them down. So
you got when you play on defense, you got more control where you put your hand when you grab the horse collar. So I'm okay with that penalty and them stressing that because you do have like you could just dive at the feet. Right. But the head thing is the game go too fast to be able to know where the fuck you putting your head at. Like with the targeting that they be calling, it's bullshit.
That's some bullshit, man.
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
the game is too fast for you. Like, oh, I need to duck my head. Oh, I need to put my head to the side.
Yeah.
Athletes are too talented and too fucking fast for you. As soon as you start thinking, damn, I need to put my head over here, they pass your ass.
Right.
So that's bullshit.
I feel you. But I mean, now some guys that were headhunters. I mean, it's just what they did. I mean, Steve Atwater, from the Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, he was going to go for it, no matter what. But
some lay with the head now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I was just like, I think when it's a bang bang play though, and then they showed a replay. Oh, well, it looked like he was launching. I was like, nah, that's a bang bang play. Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy, for the guy knocked out of the game, but that's a bang bang play. That's different than intention. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think he's out for the season, right?
Yeah, he's done for the year. Yep.
Torn ACL.
That's
and
bad.
MCL damage as well, along with that.
Yeah.
That's bad. Man.
Yeah,
that's
bad. Man.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
Man. No, go ahead, Murph.
No, I just I asked Marc this last week. I'll put these up, the standings up real quick. This American Football Conference, AFC.
Yep.
Just glance at it real quick.
Yeah.
All right. And here's the NFC. Just glance at it real quick.
Look at Washington.
All right. So let me ask y'all this: what's been your biggest? What team's been your biggest surprise? What team has been your biggest disappointment? And what team is doing what y'all expected to do?
Wow,
Shawn and Stacks.
That's a good question.
Biggest surprise.
I think man, that's a good question, Merv. I'm not surprised by much, man. The Cleveland Browns are struggling. I kind of anticipated that happening coming into this year. They were crowning the Cleveland Browns to be like next runner-up. Like this was going to be their year to like break through, and I knew that was going to happen. So I'm not surprised by that.
So that's the team you expected.
Yeah, I expected for them to be who they are.
Okay.
Man, that's a good question, bro.
Stacks, you got yours?
It is.
You said the biggest
surprise, biggest disappointment, and what team is doing what you expected?
The biggest surprise is definitely the Kansas City Chiefs to me. I had the expectation that they was gonna pick up where they left off. It seems like they still haven't recovered from what Tampa Bay did to them in the Super Bowl. That's my biggest surprise so far.
That's why I wasn't surprised. And that's why I wasn't surprised, to be honest.
Biggest disappointment?
Yeah.
I would say the WTF, and that's not a typo. I'm going to say I know it's WFT, but it's WTF. But I mean, they're not a big disappointment. I expect them to. They've been disappointing me for 30 years, so I mean that's not really a shocker.
Yeah, turn the
So,
person.
biggest disappointment would be the Dallas Cowboys, man. I really didn't want them to be 6-1 right now, man. I was hoping it'd be the other way around, but they're playing really good football. But I am encouraged that you have a lot of teams out there that got 1 or 2 losses that's going to beat them. It gives me unspeakable joy that Green Bay is 7-1, and we know Aaron Rodgers not only owns the Chicago Bears, but he owns the Dallas Cowboys, especially in the postseason.
Wow!
So there you have it.
Right, there you go.
All right. So Shawn, we're still waiting on your answer.
So I am surprised by the Washington football team defense because I thought that coming into this year, they were so good last year on defense. I thought that was going to carry over and they were going to be better this year with defense. They're not losing because of poor offense. That plays a small part, but they're losing because they can't hold nobody, which is very weird because last year, I mean, they returned all their starters on defense. And you would think another year being seasoned, that they'll be much better, especially under that coach they got. That coach is known for his defense. Always been known for his defense and his tenacity. But they've taken a big step back. Now, are they still a dangerous team in NFC East? Don't let the record fool you, because I still think they're dangerous when it comes to like just really playing a divisional rival where they can make it upset for you. But I'm very disappointed. I'm not saying disappointed. I'm happy that they're struggling right now, but I'm surprised that defense is struggling, but they're struggling. Really surprised by that. But again, it's the Washington football team. So everything that's happening to them, they deserve it because of that piece of shit organization that they have, and the things that they're doing are going to come to the light. And I'm hoping that the NFL be very cruel in their judgment and make sure that they lay their asses to the wall straight up.
Damn, tell us how you really feel coming back. Shit.
I'm just saying.
You don't think that was a little over the top? Just a tad bit?
I'm just saying. And I'm not surprised by the Cowboys. I told you guys last year after the season was over, I said this team is very deep. My only concern is the NFC is very deep as well. NFC is top heavy. And this was a year that I think that we can't benefit from the NFC being top heavy. Because we're winning games that we probably would have lost over the past 10 years under the old regime, and we're winning those games now. But we are very, very deep, man, on offense and defense. Anybody can get it done on both sides of the ball, but the NFC is top heavy, man. Those things worry me.
That's what I'm counting on. I'm counting on anybody but the Cowboys. I don't give a damn who wins.
Wow. That's interesting.
Hear that.
I got Rams coming out of the NFC right now.
Okay.
You can't argue that.
I'll tell you.
Huh?
Is it because of the trade?
Nigga, have you not been listening to me? I've been talking about Rams. I've been screaming Rams all year.
You have. At the beginning of you have.
I'll say like this,
my cookie motherfucker.
Man, I do feel like Von Miller is kind of like icing on the cake. Like, like
I ain't like that. I ain't like that shit.
You got Aaron. Listen, let me say this out loud. They got Aaron Donald and Von Miller on the front 7 now. With what's the fucking cornerback? Jalen Ramsey in the fucking defensive backfield.
It's just unfair.
This is just your defense,
man.
And then you got fucking Matt Stafford that they traded for with Cup, Henderson, with the other receiver name, like
Woods, Van Jefferson,
Higbee, tight end. Nigga.
They loaded. Yeah. They're loaded.
Yeah.
Love it.
I would say like this. My biggest surprise is Cincinnati Bengals. They're never expected to win anything. You know what I'm saying? And they're sitting at 5-2. I mean, that game, that's a tough game, tough break they had yesterday. Yeah, I mean, the Jets put in the third string quarterback, and I mean, threw for 400 yards. I don't think you expect that to happen ever. But you know what I'm saying? But Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are the real deal, and they're young. Yeah, and they're playing this well already. I'm just like, if some of the other guys, you know what I mean, for us start to develop a rapport with that quarterback, it's going to be a dangerous offense, you know what I mean, to try to stop in the playoffs.
Definitely.
Because they have talent at receiver, talent at running back. Obviously with them, losing a lot, you know what I'm saying, in previous years, they got some good talent on the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? And the defensive line is pretty tough. So if all of that starts to come together for them in the playoffs, I'm trying to tell you, they're going to be dangerous, man. But
Marc,
shoot,
they got a tight end, super tight end, and Uzama.
Yeah, they just got to use him a little bit more. Yeah, but he's nice. He's nice though, man. Shoot, I think my biggest disappointment is most like everybody else's Chiefs. And I remember Merv, was breaking this down last week. He was just like, "Yo, look," he was like, "You know how they say take what the defense gives you," and they're not doing that. Merv pointed that out. He's like, they want to always go for the big play. They might have the 5-yard out or the 8-yard out, and we going to just launch it. You know what I'm saying? And Merv was explaining, how they play in this single high safety, 2 safeties back sometimes, and all of that. It's kind of easy to read. So the Kansas City offense has became a little bit generic to defensive coordinators because, we already seen this movie before. We know what you're going to do, and they won't take those short plays and then just kind of march down the field. They won't do it. So they try to gamble, but the thing is, they've been gambling and losing. And that's probably the problem.
But Mark, you being an Eagles fan, you know what Andy Reid normally do, man.
Reid, you know what I mean? He's going to go away for the run. We already
always. Andy Reid always starts out hot. I'm disappointed. Here's the thing, man. Like the enemy, I feel bad for that guy, man, because this is going to hurt him more.
Yeah, damn, you're right.
Yep. This is going to hurt him, man, because
I didn't think about that.
I can't see no one giving him a shot, man, because now you get everyone talking about Kellen Moore out of Dallas and the way he's drawing these games up. Kellen Moore is doing very similar to what the enemy did for a couple of years in Kansas City.
Yep.
And it's sad because Kellen Moore may get a head coaching job next year. There's a great.
I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Last night he solidified himself as a front runner for a head coach. And keep in mind, the enemy did this week in and week out, year in and year out for the past 4 years with Kansas City, and they're saying he can't interview well. I mean, that's
BS, and we all know that.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
But one thing about
to do the job.
But one thing about Andy Reid, and he used to infuriate me when he was a coach here. He would really abandon the run, take over the play calling. We're going to pass all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, and I'm talking to a couple of Chiefs fans, like, we're not running the ball. I'm just like, and I had to tell him, I'm like, listen, we had Shady McCoy in his prime. Yes. And he had games where he didn't see the ball. Yes. I'm like, y'all running back, no disrespect, ain't no Shady McCoy. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think Andy Reid's going to think about him? You know what I'm saying?
Throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm like, in this league, though, you want to win a title, you can't just throw it all the time. You got to be able to mix in the run. Even the teams that you've seen that got to the championship or won it, and they passed the ball more than they ran, they still ran it enough, you know what I'm saying, to make the run game a threat. And that's how they were able to win. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, with this team, the run game ain't a threat at all.
Tampa Bay gave the league a blueprint on how to beat them. And every defense that played against the Chiefs, they carbon copied that Tampa Bay defense from last year. Mm-hmm. If you look at the way they're playing a high safety, they're playing that rover line back in the middle, and they're paying close attention to everything that Pat Mahomes was doing. Think about this, guys. About a year and a half ago, they were talking about Pat Mahomes winning about 5 or 6 championships. Mm-hmm. They were saying he can get up to 8. You know what I mean? Now I can't see him getting another one. Be honest, because it's not that he regressed. It's just that now the game is being played different against him. They're taking away what he normally likes to do, and they're containing him the same way Tampa Bay did. And he's looking very Tampa Bay-ish in these games that he's been playing. Even the games they won, they didn't win in high Kansas City fashion.
Yeah, they looked very bad against the WTFs, but I mean they played the WTFs, so they still came out on top.
Yeah, doesn't take that much.
But the thing is, though, But the thing is, though, you got to take what the defense gives you, and that he doesn't do that, and Andy Reid don't do that.
Yeah,
I'm just like, yo, look, if you got a 5-yard pass that you know you can complete, okay, cool, you're gonna get tackled, but guess what? It's 5 more yards than you had.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Take that and then just keep it moving. But they won't do it.
He got to, Andy. I'm not putting this on Mahomes. Andy Reid got to adjust the offense. He got to adjust the offense. And then they could get back to Super Bowl level, but he got to adjust. He's being stubborn right now.
Is he the last say so on the offense, or is he?
You know, it's Andy Reid. He's always the last say so on the offense.
I don't think you can count out the back-to-back AFC champions. I don't think you can particularly. I'm not saying we count them out.
I think you can. I think you can now, man. I think you can because teams have.
I don't think so, man. I think this is half the season. I think we're about at the halfway point, just about almost. But I wouldn't count them out. You know,
I think they have a chance. I think they have a chance. You know, turning around. Like looking at the AFC, I was just like, man. To me, I mean, I love Buffalo. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't look good yesterday at all, though. They won, but they didn't look good at all.
Nah, you know what I mean? But see, Buffalo could play an ugly game, still win. You know what I'm saying? They could play a very ugly game and still win. You know what I'm saying? And Josh Allen don't have to look great for them to win.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You know, then that's the mark of a great defense. You know what I mean? Tre'Davious White, you know, probably one of the best cornerbacks in the league, probably the best in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? You know, easy. But I was just like, man, I like them. You know what I'm saying? I think the Bengals, you know what I mean, they're a little bit, you know what I mean, maybe a couple years away from really doing some real damage. But, you know what I'm saying? I like Buffalo, but I think, you know, if KC just kind of, you know what I'm saying, regroups, maybe, you know what I mean, for, you know, they win a couple of these ugly games, maybe they can get themselves back in it. But if they're playing how they're playing now, it's no way. They're going to have to change. They're going to have to change it.
Dead last.
Yeah, they got to change it. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm a little disappointed in the Chargers too. I thought that offense will be able to move with the weapons they have.
They fell off a little bit at the beginning of the season.
They have not played well the last 2 games.
What's their record?
4-3.
4-3.
But they were 4-1 though. You know what I mean? They were 4-1.
They were 4-1 and Dallas beat them, and after that it kind of went downhill from them.
Yeah, you know, I mean, but that's another team, you know, that's another team that, you know, they want to, you know what I mean, air it out because they have the weapons and everything like that. Right. But I'm just like, you can't play that type of game against, you know what I mean, for a stout defense that's going to grind it out. You cannot, you know, use all these high action plays to Keenan Allen. I mean, Keenan Allen's been an all-pro for years, but guess what? You ain't going to be able to do that all the time. You know what I mean? You're going to have to ground the pound sometimes and take them 5 yards, them 7 yards. Right. And this is an offense kind of like KC that doesn't want to do that. And now, you know, they're on the losing end of things because they don't want to do it.
Right. That's what Dallas is doing. That they're just taking advantage of the matchups.
Yeah, that's it. And just move the chains. Some teams don't understand that. Move the chains, you'll win. You know, it don't look pretty. But football ain't supposed to be a pretty game. So move the chains, keep it moving.
Yeah. I know we've been on football for a while, but I got a question. The Lions are now 0-8, right? Yep. You know, we got 17 games this year, and they've already done. I think in 08 they were
0-16.
0-16. So they got the Steelers, the Browns, the Bears, the Vikings, the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Seahawks, and the Packers.
They'll win.
Y'all think there's a chance of them going 0-17?
It is a chance.
It's a chance, but
they're horrible.
I like them against. I like them against the Bears, though. You know what I'm saying? You know, I like them against the Bears. I'm not feeling the Bears right now.
Atlanta, that's a chance.
I like them more against Atlanta. I don't think they beat the Bears.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell you, man.
They're in the hunt for a quarterback, man. They're going to draft a quarterback this year. They're going to have to. They got to read that.
Well, I'm gonna say like this.
No, by the Rams.
I'm gonna say like this, like no. And I'll say like this, man. No disrespect to my team, Yeah, I mean, I expected us to beat the Lions, but not 44-6. I didn't expect that at all. You know what I'm saying?
Mark, look at your stat line. Your stat line was nasty. Like, how do you? Like, I think Jalen had like one touchdown. I don't even know where the touchdowns came from. Like, it was
no, it came from the running backs because the Eagles actually ran. I couldn't even believe it.
I was like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all running the ball. You know what I mean? I know Miles Sanders is probably somewhere like, you dirty motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Being a fan of a bad team, I will tell you, when you're watching a bad team, man, and week in and week out, bad teams find ways to lose games, man. That's just what it boils down to. And they'll find ways to let games get away from them. The whole team's demoralized. So they're 0-8 right now. You know what I'm saying? And call me crazy. I wish we had them. I wish they were on our schedule, because I actually think that's probably the only team in the NFL that we can beat right now.
I think so too, man. I agree with you.
I really do feel like that. I mean, Mark, I know you think I'm negative and all that shit, but you have to sit down and watch the WTFs play, man.
I have.
Like, literally, I'm going to give you an example, bro. Because I don't get mad no more. That's why, man. I'm numb to the shit.
Yeah,
so,
you should.
I was watching the game. The watching was inside the 20. Looked like it was going to tie the game in the fourth quarter. I looked at the TV. I'm like, you know what? Let me get back to what the fuck I was doing, because they will fuck this up. I typed a couple of keys on the computer, turned around, fucking whatchamacallit had fucking ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened, Marc, but it doesn't even matter. It's the WTF.
It does.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Right. I didn't rewind or nothing like that to see what happened. I was like, you know what? Sound about right. Let me get back to what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It happens, man.
That's the reality.
It happens. You know what I mean? You know, when you cut the game off, you just cut it off. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know.
That's where I'm at now, bro. I don't get mad. I don't hoot and holler, none of that shit. But that's why I've been the same place for the last 30 years. So I'm good. I mean, I'm numb to it. I'm oblivious. I'm like somebody from the DMV said that they are a mental health survivor because they're a fan of the Washington football team.
Yeah.
So being in an abusive relationship.
I can definitely see that. Here's the bright side, and we'll move on to the NBA. The bright side is DeMarcus Lawrence is coming back really soon to the Cowboys. So we're going to get healthy there. Gallup is coming back.
Yep.
That gives us another option who's a true number 2 or number 3 wide receiver. So what that's going to do for you is allow you to take 2 more losses to the Cowboys this year, and it's going to improve your chances to get a higher draft pick. That's taking a frown and turning it upside down.
Didn't they get enough draft picks?
I would really love for this dude to go back
with
game for a minute. That'd be good. That'd be great right now.
All right, shoot. I mean, shoot. Let's turn to the NBA, man.
The association.
You know, the association. You know, I would say like this, right? Is it anything, you know, that's like, wow, like I can't even believe this is happening? You know, just what are you thinking right now, you know, in terms of the teams? You know, is it kind of going as you expected so far, or anything surprising to anybody?
Hey, Marc, let me help you out. All right. This is the Eastern Conference record so far.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody good?
Got a lot of fucking playoff teams out there at the bottom.
All right. And here's the Western Conference.
That looks kind of normal. That looks kind of normal. You know what I mean? Maybe except for Phoenix, but you know what I'm saying? You know, and the Clippers, y'all mean, are missing. You know, I mean, for real, you know, their star player. They're missing the center. So I'm like, I get
lose some more.
You know, but I'm gonna tell you, right? I'm gonna start off. I gotta give love to the Washington Wizards, who's right in my division personally. People laughed when that trade happened, right? They traded Westbrook, and you know they disrespect. I mean, but this is what happens. You play with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're not the second star, basically they're going to disrespect everything you ever did, right?
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, because they talked about Kuzma like a dog. Like, and we are,
really did.
You know what I'm saying? Harold couldn't get on the court. Montrezl Harrell who played well for the Clippers, couldn't get on the court for the Lakers. I thought that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know, and KCP, right? And I'm just like, these guys go to Washington, they play their roles, playing it well. Bradley Beal still Bradley Beal. You know what I'm saying? And then they're off to a 5-1 start. And they're off to a 5-1 start. And they're missing 2 key players. Spencer Dinwiddie, who they got from the Nets, just came back the other game, the victory, you know what I mean, for the other day. And they still have the young big man, Thomas Bryant, who's going to be coming back sometime in December. So I'm like, the Wizards are 5-1, and they ain't even played with all their players yet. So I'm just like, you know, that's pretty. Yeah, I mean, you know, the change, you know, the outlook on that team, and they picked up Drew Holiday's little brother, Aaron Holiday. I don't know how they got him, because I'm like, well, that wasn't no major trade
from the Pacers.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm like, man, so they got him. So I'm just like, man, you know, so now it's like you look at the team, they got some dogs, like some guys who will fight, and you know what I mean, you know, they ain't messing around in there. So I'm just like, man, this team, you know what I'm saying, you know, looks pretty good. Like, you know, so I'm very surprised at that team, you know, and how well they're playing, you know, and they don't even have all their players yet.
I don't think that shit is sustainable, man. I mean, you got New York up there. I think New York could do some things this year. I don't think Washington will stay up there. Chicago will. Miami will. Don't know about the fucking Bobcats. I like to call the Bobcats the Hornets.
Yeah,
I like to call them the Bobcats still. Fuck with.
Yeah.
Fuck
I do it for Hornets fans. I do it to them all the time.
But you gotta. I mean, the champs are definitely gonna, you know, right the ship. Atlanta, they're gonna do their thing. Detroit's gonna Detroit. I mean, every Detroit sports team pretty much disappoints. You know, because the Detroit Pistons and the Lions are 1-13 combined. I think they handle that though. We don't want to talk about them. But wow, I don't think it's sustainable, Mark.
Yeah,
I don't think so either. I don't see it.
I like Washington. I think yeah, I mean, they traded in a bunch of soft guys for guys who are gonna play tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I like what they do with the second unit, right? The second unit is like all white guys, right, who can shoot. You know what I'm saying? So all these white guys come in, be firing threes. Like, the shit fun to watch, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, yo, I think I seen this like one of them CYO gyms or whatever, where it's 5 white guys on the court, and it's just like, man, we about to bust their ass, and they start raining them threes on you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
The YMCA white boys.
YMCA white boys, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
A bunch of what's the dude name from the Jazz, Angles? A bunch of them motherfuckers in the gym.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know, but they're solid. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I expected Miami to play well. I'm like, you got Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo. But the one thing I'm surprised at, that white boy Tyler Hero has found his game again, because he's balling.
6-man of the year early candidate.
Yeah, he is
like
balling. Yeah, he's balling right now. So I'm just like, props to him. So I'm just like, man, Boston, they're kind of, you know, if any team's gonna fall off, I think it's them. Even though they have 2 all-stars, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I just don't see them doing much. I don't see them doing much.
They don't play defense. They're allowing 118 points a game.
Yes,
they have it. Shit.
The Lakers are averaging what, I think 120, 120.
Lakers giving up a whole bunch. We're playing zero defense, bro. Like I don't. They might start playing in the second half. Not second half of the game, but second half of the season. But Lakers ain't playing no damn defense. They didn't even try to play defense either.
I'm gonna say like this. Speaking of what you call it, you know, the Lakers, right? And I hate this. I hate to do this, right? But that lineup where they have Westbrook and Carmelo in, and LeBron's not in the game, I like that lineup better. I like the Westbrook Melo lineup. You know what I mean, to close things out. You know what I'm saying? Because they had that lineup in for a couple games that they won, and those guys were playing down the stretch. And I don't know if LeBron was in that lineup with them. You know what I'm saying? LeBron's going to have to be able to fit into this closing lineup. I don't know what he needs to do, but I think, you know what I'm saying, this closing lineup, you know, with those 2 guys, I like that better. So LeBron's going to have to kind of find his way, you know what I'm saying, if he wants to be, you know, in this closing lineup and they be successful.
It's hard with him and Westbrook on the court at the same time, man. It's awkward as a fan.
LeBron still wants to run point, and I'm like, man, LeBron, you know what I'm saying? This is what I never understood about LeBron. And LeBron rather play slow, but I'm just like, look, you know what I'm saying? Move over to that power forward, especially in the quick lineup, right? Move over to that power forward, get that ball off the rim, and then run. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he do that, he's going to get rewarded on the other end. It's enough good passes on the Lakers to get that ball up to the rim, you know what I'm saying? Then he go ahead and dunk it. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to set up top of the key. You know, we're back in the 70s and we're not running. Like, you don't got to do that, man. You know what I mean? Get that ball off the board and go. You know what I'm saying? No reason to slow things down. So that's the only thing. I think LeBron has to buy in. I think if he doesn't buy in, the Lakers, you know what I mean, will have a quick exit, you know what I mean, out of the playoffs. But if he buys in, I think, you know what I mean, the Lakers could do a lot of damage, but he's going to have to buy in.
Well, so what I'd like to know from you, Mark, what do you think of the Sixers, how they're playing in this early season with that, big elephant in the room that y'all got going on?
Hey, before y'all leave the Lakers, y'all mentioned Tyler Hero earlier about 6 man a year. But look, I want to bring up somebody that I talked about earlier. When anytime you get old, you play a little bit bad and you consider wash. Because we got a nigga that was left out the league that nobody would pick his ass up for a whole fucking year because they consider his ass wash.
Yeah.
But look at this nigga right now.
Melo hooping, bro.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's hooping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
he played well in Portland. He played well in Portland up there with
he did.
Yeah,
and he's a 6 man a year candidate right now.
I don't think they played him enough in Portland. I thought they should have played him a little bit more.
They did.
So he's against the Rockets at 23 points, 4 blocks, 5 3-points, 57% field goal percentage, 63% 3-point percentage. He's averaging 16 points a game this year, highest since the Knicks, 50% field goal, 52% 3-pointer, and averaging 1 block a game in 27 minutes.
Yeah,
he's balling, man.
Yeah, he's balling. And the thing is with the Lakers, you know what I'm saying, you can't double them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you double off him, somebody else is open. Teams don't want to do that. But you're sticking Carmelo Anthony. I mean, you're at his mercy. He's one of the best offensive players ever to play. Like, he has all the moves. So you're really at his mercy if he has the ball in his hands.
Absolutely.
Mark, and that's key because some players, as their career go along, they have to kind of like switch it up a little bit. Melo still could create his own shot and get you buckets when you need him. That's always a guy that you're going to need. He's been doing it in 03 when he led Syracuse to that national championship. But he's certified bucket getter. Yeah,
man. But I'm like, he can score at all 3 levels. So he can. And a lot of players, it's not a lot of players that can do that. Like,
Here's where it's going to hurt them in the playoffs. I'm hoping I'm right. I'm a huge Melo fan. I was a Melo fan. But Melo is a liability on defense as well. You play against a team like Utah in the playoffs, when you get to shorten your lineup, those points that Melo's getting right now, Melo can't be Melo the way he's playing now in the playoffs, because that Utah team is going to run, and they're not going to give him a chance to be able to set up properly, because now he's going to be a liability on defense. Same thing with a team like in the West. If you look at Golden State, the way they're playing right now, they get Klay Thompson back. If Klay Thompson comes back playing at least 80%, man, watch out for Golden State, man.
Ain't too many people talking. They're 5-1,
and they winning without Klay.
Curry having another MVP season, by the way.
And I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something about Golden State for a guy who's not really getting any credit, and he should get some credit. Andrew Wiggins, who's really been the butt of a lot of people's jokes for years, because he was the number 1 pick and he didn't live up to number 1 pick standards. We get it, but I'm like, he's found a way to fit in with that team. He plays defense, he runs, he grabs boards. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's fit in nicely with that team.
Yes, Mark.
Is Wiseman still out as well, or he's playing now?
Who's that?
Who?
Wiseman.
Wiseman. You know
he's still out.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Yeah, he's still there.
He's hurt.
it doesn't seem like people are talking about Golden State enough.
They're not.
Because
Poole is an underrated part of that part of that team. Poole is an underrated part of that team.
Poole's nice, man.
Right.
so
That's why I said I said underrated part of that team.
Right.
okay, so chemistry aside, when those players get back, Golden State's going to be right there, man.
Right there.
They're going to be right there when the season ends, in my opinion. I'm not talking no playoff, no play-in game, none of this.
No.
I'm talking 4 through 1 through 4.
Well,
that's what
one
I'm
thing
right
I'm
now.
saying, you like about Golden State is, I'm saying whoever's open will, take the shot. You know what I'm saying? We know Steph Curry's still Steph Curry. We all know that.
He really
but
is.
it's just like, but he's really one of the most unselfish superstars I've ever seen. Like, he doesn't have to have the ball. He wants to, like, look, I know if we have the open shot, it's going to be better for all of us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way he plays. I think the only thing with Golden State, and this is when, when they got KD, that they didn't have a guy really who could close the way, KD could close, right? So that helped them, in those championships or whatever. But I was just like, if they could do it maybe collectively, maybe they'll have, something good happen with that. So,
and Mark, to your point, as far as you have to have a defender with a whole lot of stamina and cardio to play. You said because he doesn't have to have the ball. And I think y'all seen this. This dude runs nonstop around when he's on offense.
Oh yeah.
That takes it. If you got somebody on him that you hoping to get some points as well. When you running around with Curry all night playing like running, because by the time the game over, you run like miles upon miles.
Oh yeah, you probably drenched by the time you done the game. Like
when Curry don't have the ball, he's constantly moving, moving, cutting, running around.
You can do nothing with it. When does Clay come back? Does anybody know when Clay comes back?
They said they
February.
Go ahead, Sax.
Did they say February? What I see Golden State doing as the season goes along, I think they're going to be straight, and I think they're going to, have them come along slowly based on where they're at the standings, because I don't see no reason to rush him back.
Not early.
I could try to get him back in there. I'd hold it out for as long as I can to bring him back like 1 month before the playoffs, so he can get in good with the chemistry.
I know they said they wanted to see if he can be back like after the All-Star break, like right around that time or whatever.
I heard February,
but I'm like, if they're rolling, you know what I'm saying? You want them to get in, play some games before the playoffs, but if they're rolling though, I'm like, man, you could play tonight, rest tomorrow, play the next game if you want, it'd be something like that for me.
Hey, I got a question for Merv. Merv, you think KD is starting to regret leaving Golden State now? In the back of his, maybe like when he's alone in his room thinking about himself, you think he's regretting that now?
Maybe slightly. I would say slightly. I would say a small percentage. If I had to give a percentage, I'd say maybe 10 to 20. The highest I go is 20, but I think being KD mindset, I'm thinking 10, because KD listens to the noise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what's the noise? You had to go to Golden State.
Right.
We don't count your fucking chips. We don't count your MVP. Fuck you. He is hearing the noise, and KD wants to be considered that motherfucker by the time he hang it up.
Right.
So the other 80% of why he's not regretting it is he wants to prove that he could win this shit without Golden State.
But the thing is, we still got Kyrie and Harden. So I mean,
you don't got Kyrie.
I don't know if we got Kyrie at this point.
Harden is not the winner, man. Harden, he still look out of shape, man.
But what the fuck is going on with Harden? Is the change to the foul calls that much of a fucking difference?
I'm glad you brought that up, Merv.
Absolutely.
Because here's the thing: he's not the only one going through it. With this extra stuff, with the refs or whatever. I'm just like, because he's going through it. Devin Booker's going through it. Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? It's like a couple other guys, that will use this off motion stuff to get the shots and everything. But I think it's affecting.
They call them shits no more.
It's affecting Harden more than it's affecting them other guys. Because Trey's still finding a way to impact the game, even though they're not calling these certain type of things for him. He's still finding a way to impact the game. You know what I'm saying? But Harden, though, man, it looks bad. It looks bad, though. I'm saying, I'm like, man, I think Draymond Green sent out a tweet like, man, I'm glad the refs are calling this the right way, allowing guys to play the defense the way they need to play it, something like that. So I know Draymond Green's happy about it. You know what I'm saying? And then you can get a little more physical, right? Like I'm watching the game, the early part of tonight's game, Sixers in Portland, and I'm like, yo, you seen CJ McCollum, he got laid out and he's looking, where's the foul? No, that's not a foul, buddy. That's not a foul. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, it's not a foul. You're gonna have to do better than that. So I like it. I think, I think Harden and these guys will adjust. I just think it's going to take them a little time to adjust. That's all.
Yeah.
Like Harden is only averaging like what? Is he even averaging above 20? He's like
he's like 16, 15, 16 or something.
So was he getting like 12 to 15 points from the free throw line every game?
Yeah, he always has shot a bunch of free throws. Not only that, Merv, Harden parties a lot during the off season, bro. He be all over the place. I mean, I'm not knocking him for it, but Harden goes in during the off season. He has a whole lot of fun. He was out there in some foreign country. Who was he with, Marc? Out there got him up out of police. They didn't get arrested. I forgot who he was with. He was with was it
Oh, well, he always hang out with Lil Baby. That's the guy.
Yeah,
Lil Baby, that's the guy.
Overseas, they didn't get arrested, but the police was pressing them and shit like that. But Harden parties during the fucking off season a lot.
Dude,
and I'm like, man, I'm just like, listen. And guess what? Listen, just like in Houston, they got strip clubs in New York too. So, what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, man, Marc, you got to deal with that.
But Marc, New York strip clubs is trash.
I would say like this, dude. You go to Starlet's, different story. You gotta go to Starlet's. You know what I'm saying?
And Murray, you understand, this is James Harden. He's going to go to the best.
Yeah, he's gonna, yeah.
And they're bringing the quality out there to him. They bring the quality prize out to him.
If Harden's there, it's strippers who wasn't even working that night, who don't even work at that club, who will come because James Harden.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He gives it up.
So, Shawn, to answer your question again, I think he misses the professional, selfless chemistry of Golden State.
Right.
It was missing the basketball.
Right.
The basketball part of the team and just boom, 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 boom.
No drama, really.
Selfless. Then he's missing that. So I don't think he was regretting it, but I think he's missing it. But he still be like, yo, I gotta figure out something. I gotta win this show on my own. Because I want kind of like how Kobe, like, yo, Shaq gotta get the fuck on because I'm trying to be great. I'm trying to be Jordan level. Right. I can't get that way if Shaq stayed on his motherfucking team. Right. Durant would have never considered that if he stayed with Golden State.
But Murph, to your point, he went from abstract to another. You got Clay and Steph who are basketball guys. These are basketball is priority to them.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
You go to Harden and Kyrie.
Basketball is not a priority for either of them.
It is not a priority for neither one of them. Kyrie said that he's going to be a martyr for those who
a voice for the voiceless, motherfucker.
Yeah, Kyrie just like he'll tell you like you're like, yo, I'm good at basketball, but it ain't my life. Like
that would scare the fuck out of me if I was the owner paying somebody $30 million. I'm sorry, but hold on.
But you know what though?
Hey, what do you mean? Hold up.
But this is when you really gotta start noticing who guys are when they get in the league, before they get in the league. This is why those interviews, right? You would think those interviews ain't important, but they are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you want to know guys just going to answer your question. Even if you ask them, just something like that has nothing to do with basketball, you just want to see how you're going to answer the question.
Ever since that motherfucker state of Earth been flat, it's been downhill for that motherfucker, man.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Y'all, I know we're in this nation where I know we're in this mode where we champion people that go against the grain and shit like that.
Yeah,
but Kyrie need to get the fuck on and get back on the court, man. Fuck all the dumb shit.
Duke players, man. Duke players.
He only played with us for like 6 games or whatever. So technically,
he's from Duke, nigga. Don't do that. Don't do that. He's from Duke.
I disown him. That motherfucker. He must be in with the class. This motherfucker think the earth flat. And that's a prestigious fucking university. Like they teach flat earth shit at USC on your master's program, nigga.
Whoa.
Did they? Okay. Now say no. I see you shaking. No, don't be timid. They did not, motherfucker.
Shoot. Well, I'm gonna say like this, because Stacks, I know you were asking me, about the Sixers. I was just like, look, I was like, since Shake Milton been back, Shake's been back maybe for a game, and Maxey, they've been holding down that point guard position the last couple games. They've been doing well with it. Andre Drummond is a big, huge addition for us. I'm like, no disrespect to Dwight Howard, but he ain't no Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond, knows how to run the floor. He rebounds, He knows how to play in space, and he can play defense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this guy's out there, reaching for steals and stuff like that. And, I was just like, they're playing without Joel Embiid tonight, but they're winning. You know what I mean? He ain't even playing. So I was just like, man, the Sixers, it's like a scrappy team. It's a real scrappy team. They're going to play tough defense against you. And if you can't meet them, with the physicality and the defense, you ain't going to win. You know what I'm saying? You got to scrap it out with the Sixers. You know what I mean? If you want to win, and if you can't do that, you're not going to win.
Yeah. Here's my thing, though. And this goes to football and basketball. We got Ben Simmons just out, of course. He's doing the whole mental health thing. Right. I don't want to downplay that, but that's becoming like a common occurrence now, as far as in sports.
Good segue.
Kyrie did it last season. Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons. Yep. He did it, I guess, yesterday.
How many games has he missed? Is this second one for him?
This is third.
Third game. Oh wow. Okay.
Third game.
I don't think mental health is nothing to joke about, but I think at the same time, people need to realize that these players are human. Yeah. But I think when these guys are getting paid all this money, people have the tendency to think that, well, you're getting paid this much money, you shouldn't have no mental health issues. Money ain't everything to some people.
And it definitely don't, for take away no mental health issues just because you got money.
So I guess my question would be, is this going to become a common occurrence where players use it because me personally, no offense to Ben Simmons, I think Ben Simmons is kind of using it as a cop out because of the situation, and I at time only tell with Calvin Ridley. But I think that's that catch-all, whereas a mental health, I'm out. I think that's that one where you could just raise your hand and say, mental health, I'll be back when I'll be back.
Yeah. And you know what? I agree with you. 1,000%.
Wow. That's
that is. Yeah, it is. I was about to say you might need to write this motherfucking date down. November 1st, 9:09 p.m. at nighttime on a Monday.
He's an asshole, man. For no reason.
It's like mental health is the new religion.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, 90s, and you want an excuse not to do something. If you want that automatic hall pass, you use religion. All right. If you don't want to do something, you want to wear something at work or you want a job, it's the religion. Like when people came on Apollo, to make sure Sandman don't come, they sing a gospel song. The hope to not get booed off. And now it's like everything is mental health. And I think people is using it so much to it's damn near becoming a bit of saturated. Yeah. Anytime somebody have a problem, it's mental health. Anytime somebody do something bad, it's mental health. And it's like, no, in my opinion, you just got some bad motherfuckers, you just got some evil motherfuckers, and you just got some crazy motherfuckers. All that's not mental health. You just got some people that just not gonna fucking do right. There's nothing wrong with their mind. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
They know what they're doing.
Mark,
you know what? I was gonna say like this, right? Here's the thing, like, because I'm seeing it play out live, with Ben Simmons, right? And I would say I don't think it started out so much as mental health. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, I like the city tried to carry him along as much as they could. You know what I'm saying? Where they didn't really bash him. You didn't hear about when Ben would be in public and they would just try to kill him, right on the spot. Like, yo, you trash. Like we do everybody else here. You know what I'm saying? So they really, use kid gloves around him. Like, yo, man, you should shoot more, whatever. But it was like always like a cool conversation. Like anybody who I know bumped into Ben, it wasn't like a crazy exchange. It was always kind of cool conversation or whatever. But now he's kind of getting what, people in Philly, the people, basketball fans, are really thinking at this moment. And it's just like, yo, to me, I'm not sure if it's a mental health thing, but I think it could be, because I'm like, I think he's really scared to death to actually shoot in front of 20,000 people. It's different when you're just shooting in the gym with a few guys. It's like public speaking, right? Like I know a guy who spoke very well that I went to school with, right? But when he had to get in the auditorium and speak in front of the whole school, he would stutter. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't understand how he's in a classroom with 20 people and he's just fine. But then you got 3,000 people and he was stutter, But
Mark, here, so I hear you. And that makes sense, right? It's different between like a small, more of intimate setting, and then you got thousands of people just glaring at you. All right. But here's the thing. That's like Mark, what's a motivated speaker that you listen to?
And just a bunch of them, but like, yeah, I mean, you could go with like Les Brown. Les Brown. Okay, Les Brown.
Yeah. Les Brown is a professional speaker.
Right.
So that's like Les Brown saying, I need to take a mental health break from doing what he's supposed to do professionally because he's nervous about doing something that he has become a professional at.
Yeah,
it seems a little. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, but you're saying like Ben has become a professional. He's been playing in the light for years. So how all of a sudden is this his fifth year?
But here's where I think it comes in, right? I think I'm saying if he's been playing since he was a kid and everybody tells you you're great, you know what I'm saying, from 5 years old when you picked up a basketball all the way up until 19 when you become the number one pick or whatever.
True.
Right?
I know where you're going.
And then you get a coach, on top of that who's like your father's best friend. So imagine the person you work for is your dad's best friend. Of course he's going to shield you from whatever. So then, you get to last year where that coach is going. So from 5 all the way to Ben has to be what, 24, 23, 24, something like that. So he's been shielded by older guys, you know what I'm saying, and people, who are fathers or father figures virtually his whole life. So this is now all them people are gone. They're not around. So it's harder for him to deal with.
I could kind of see where you're getting at. I kind of see where you're getting at, Stacks, but I know you want to respond. You go ahead. I'll go after you, Stacks.
That's so problematic, though, man, because it's like I always say, man, I think, especially these cats that's born in like the late 90s, 2000, I guess they call them Gen Z. I think that, and it's a part of it's our generation of parents that's like in their 40s, a little bit older. I think that we want to put our kids, set our kids for success so much, and have them have their innocence for so long that we fail to teach them how to deal with adversity.
So when, there you go. There
like
you
said,
go.
Mark, when you got somebody saying you're great, at any given time, like my pops, he would tell me I'm great, but he would also end it with, well, not end it, but he'll tell me some shit that I need to work on. You're not doing this so great. You ain't doing that. You need to do this better. But when you got somebody telling you you're great, somebody should have told this motherfucker a long time ago he couldn't shoot. Maybe it would have stuck. Maybe like 10 years ago, whatever.
I agree, Stacks. I don't think that's just a Ben Simmons thing. We say the Gen Z, because now they got. When I was playing Little League, you got to earn you had to earn a Little League trophy. Either you're gonna be the best defensive player, you're gonna be a headhunter, you're gonna be MVP. You had to earn your shit, or you just show up to the reception for food and camaraderie. That's it. But nowadays they have participation trophies. Yeah. We are so scared to hurt motherfucker feelings now, right? That when we become adults, like when we was young, our adversity was created for us by either our dad, our brothers, or uncles. I had a fucking brother that had me fucking running and lifting weights while I was in the fucking 7th grade, saying you gotta get faster, you gotta get stronger. Yeah, damn boy, you made a great fucking hit. Then you gonna get up and act hurt. That's the kind of shit I dealt with when I was coming up. So I just think, like Stack said, and I see your point too, because both of y'all make sense. I think both of y'all are right. If you getting told you great from 5 to 24 years old, then all of a sudden you get hit with like, nigga, you not that great.
Yeah, right.
That shit might give you mental health issues now that I think about it.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't great.
Yeah.
So I can see that. Then you got the coach who's like, nah, nigga. Then you got Joel Embiid, who's like, you're getting this probably your first time getting constructive accountability about your fucking game, and it's coming from a big dog, Joel Embiid. It's coming from a big dog championship coach and Doc Rivers, and you're not used to that. So I can see how that can make a motherfucker like, whoa. So he probably lost all the fucking confidence. He probably don't feel comfortable around the team right now. So I can see that. But that's a new generation of parents' fault, man.
Now see, Marc, and that's where I'm not going to put that on Ben Simmons. It's definitely the people who brought him up. I ain't gonna believe it. His parents. I mean, you gotta throw them in there.
Yeah.
He has his dad. His dad is in his life, but I'm glad we actually got on this topic because this is something that I hold near and dear to me because my ex-wife, my sons, I got 2 sons, and I told them some wild shit growing up all the time, and both their moms thought I was crazy as shit, but I wanted to prepare them for the real world because you're going to get doors thrown in your face. People are going to tell you once you become grown, no, you don't qualify. We're going to pass on you. You're going to give the job to somebody else. No, you can't have that. No, you cannot qualify. We're not picking you for this. When you give kids everything growing up, and you set the conditions for shit always to be in their favor, you're setting them up for success, for failure. Once they become an adult. And you see it all the time. I mean, you see it. To me, you're seeing it right now with Ben Simmons. But I see it all the time out, regular, kids around age 21 where they got mamas and shit coddle the fuck out of them for a certain period of time, and they never get to be men. I mean, they just
I mean, shoot, you look at it. You look at it with the YouTube sensation boxing brothers, Logan Paul and Jake Paul, right? I'm like, it's like a false sense of reality because you're in there like with guys who really actually can fight, and they're holding you up. You know what I'm saying? Like they knocked you out. Like both the brothers been knocked out in their own fights, but then the opponent is holding them up. Yo, man, you got to stay awake. We got to get this bag. Like instead of, you know what I mean? Like, look, you just gonna go down, man. So I'm just like, man, this is why I don't think, for if Shawn was asked to do, a YouTube fight, I think he would go off script because I'm in there in the ring. I can't just, I can't hold you up after I knock you out. You're going to have to fall.
You're going to fall.
I can't do it.
You're going to fall. Yeah.
But this is where we're at, for with that. And and you got two guys who have a false sense of security. I mean, one of them's about to fight Mike Tyson. I'm like, I understand Mike's 50 years old, but he's still Mike Tyson. I'm just like, but but Mike, is really going to coddle him in that fight. Like, all right, listen, I ain't going to really try to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? I might hit you, but I ain't going to try to hurt you, right? So I'm just like, once again, you're giving them a false sense of security because it's going to probably end in a draw or something or a close fight. When in real life, that would never happen. This dude would be out after the first punch.
Hey, check this out though, Mark. I wouldn't go into one of them fights with Mike, man. We know Mike go off script. We know Mike don't give a fuck sometimes, man. Mike goes off script. The shit could get real fucking ugly real quick.
Yeah, he can. Say like, honestly, yeah, and he's known for that. He's known for
crazy Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're Logan Paul, you have to give Mike the best weed, forever. Like before the fight. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to smoke a lot. That's the only way, for Mike won't get into a trance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I still don't know. That might not even happen. That might not even help. But I'm like, that's worth a try.
now, what I want to do, just so I don't want people to think that we're like looking down on people that say they have mental health issues. I'm actually doing the opposite because there are some people out there with some real issues. And I think that when everybody's yelling mental health, that kind of detracts from the people with the real issues. Yeah. And Kevin Love is one of those guys. He talked at length about his mental health issues. And it didn't stem from something he wasn't doing on the court, but he actually talked at length about the issues he was having as far as his mental health. But I just hate when people get faced with adversity and things of that nature, and that's the card that they play. That's what we're getting at. We know that we know here at the guys that mental health is a really serious issue, but we're just talking about how some people will play that card when the going gets tough.
Well, I'll say like this. Ben Simmons is lucky he came around when he did, because if David Stern, God rest his soul, was the commissioner, he'd have suspended him on the spot for not playing. I'm like, man, David Stern, when you look really over his career, he was a real wild bull. He didn't care what was going on. Get your ass on that court. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, we going to leave it off there for that. You know what I'm saying? But, this is a topic we revisit all the time. We just wanted to touch on it real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, Shawn, we're going to move to athletes and rapping. You know what I'm saying? This is wild, though. You know what I'm saying? But the reason this came up, Damian Lillard from the Portland Trailblazers, you know what I'm saying, was flowing, right? And I'm like, he got a nice flow. Like, I mean, I'm serious. Like, he has a nice flow. Like, if you put him on a song with some pretty good rappers, he could hold his own. I ain't saying he'd be the best, but I'm saying he wouldn't be trash. You know what I mean? Like, no way. Like, he can hold his own, man. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of respect that. And other guys are kind of taking a hand and, they're taking a little stab at it or whatever over the years. We've seen Kobe and we've seen Shaq and, we've seen some other guys rap, man. But I would say as far as every athlete I heard rap, Damian Lillard probably has the best flow of all of them over the years that we've heard.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? That's what I think. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm glad you brought this up. Is there anybody else out there that I mean, and this is not just basketball. We're talking about all the sports that was pretty decent spitters.
You know what? I would say like this, right? I thought Shaq had a decent flow. I thought it was decent, right? Shaq you know what I mean? Like, I would say like this, because as the years went on, I thought his flow started to get a little bit better each time. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, we first remember Shaq, you know what I mean, with Fushniks, right?
From the hoop.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, that's just Shaq, you know what I mean, for real, and he's kind of following their style or whatever, right? But then over time, he's just like, yeah, he started getting a little better. So I just like, man, but I think some of the newer guys, like, he got a nice little flow. I mean, if you listen to like Lonzo Ball and Marvin Bagley, I'm like, they got a decent flow. Like, I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? They do a little something over there. So I was like, not as good as Lillard, but I was just like, man, but over the years, I'm like, obviously we had Kobe, but I just think, I don't know, the Kobe thing, because I know about it, I know the story personally, right? it's just like, man, like I don't know, like it was. I think Capitol Records had him right, and they just like what Kobe was supposed to do and what he ended up doing is kind of like, yeah. I mean, if anybody watches the Wu-Tang series with Rizzo, or whatever, when he was Prince Rakeem, and he didn't really actually want to really do Prince Rakeem, but the record company wanted him to do that, and it kind of came off like, yo, this is kind of like trash, right? But it's not really what he wanted to do. So with Kobe, it's like they kind of, you know, made him over and like, yo, rap like this and do that. You know what I mean? Instead of Kobe kind of doing what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he really got a fair shake, but I was just like, man, you know, but it was really bad when he was like rapping in the Tyra Banks video. I'm just like, yeah, that was super terrible. You know what I mean? It just was. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I love Kobe to death, late great Kobe Bryant. But yeah, rapping.
Yeah, that was like a low light of his career.
I had to tag y'all to that. I mean, that's not the first time I heard Dame. I've heard Dame several times, and the guy can spit. I like spitters. Now, you can take away all that other shit as far as I mean, I love production and all that other shit as well, but I like motherfuckers that can spit. And that flow that I tagged y'all to, he was talking about his life and him being loyal to the Trailblazers and all that shit. I liked it.
Yeah,
I dug it.
Dame the only one that I can actually see like on like a DJ Clue record or like with other like official MCs. Like Stacks earlier. I ain't gonna say he probably outshine anybody, but I can really see him being featured on with real MCs on the track. Only NBA athlete, only pro athlete that I can see that. Anybody else? Nah.
I would say like this. I think the guy from the NFL, you know what I mean, the wide receiver, I think Dwayne Bowe kind of fits in with, you know what I mean, the guys who do the music now. Like he, you know, obviously you hang out with Migos, you're going to flow like Migos. You know what I'm saying? And that quality controls, you know what I mean, sound and all of that. I can see him doing something like that. But as far as spitting though, you know what I'm saying, it's Dame. You know what I mean? And Dame battled like Shaq, and he battled Marvin Bagley, and he bodied both of them, you know what I mean, which I thought was great. You know what I mean, to be honest. I'm like, but even Shaq at his age now, I'm like, man, he gave Dame some nice jabs though.
He did.
He gave some nice jabs on that comeback.
He had some punchlines.
Yeah, he had a couple nice joints on him.
Punchlines for his ass.
Yeah, you know, he definitely did, man. But I was just like, man, you know, I would like to see more guys, you know, take a stab at it. You know what I'm saying, and see what they could do. You know, I mean, look, you know, LeBron, he was like executive producer of the 2 Chainz album. So you want to see, you know what I mean, these guys kind of get more into it, because I'm like that. I mean, that album was good. Like if LeBron actually was picking those beats, he picked right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man. Now he did try to rap on a joint, and I'm like, oh no, LeBron, no, that's not it, buddy. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely like, if you the beat guy, stick to being a beat guy, but don't be the rap guy, because you're not. No, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to
work. You see the look on Shawn's face at the mention of LeBron James' name.
Yeah, man.
This guy, man.
He looks so annoyed.
Man, I really don't like that guy, man. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, man, look, LeBron might make it on Drake record. I mean, they are cool. You know what I'm saying?
He would. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Yeah. I mean, look, man, Dame is probably the best rapper. I mean, the best baller rapper out there. That you ever seen. Shaq he raps like he talk. You know, you listen to a song like that's how that guy talk. You don't hear anything different than what he's saying. The thing about Shaq, because Shaq got so much money, he's so well respected. You know, he had a chance to get on joints with Biggie, joints with RZA, you know, back then, because he was Shaq. He was bigger than life at that time, Diesel. So that's the only thing that pushed him over. But if you listen to his songs, really listen to what he's saying, don't get me wrong, the lyrics are not really trash. It just delivery is trash because he raps like he talk. Dame talk, he has flow. Dame actually has a good cadence. He has a good flow. You can tell that he takes it serious. These other young rappers like Bagley and, you know, even Alonzo Ball, those guys are more in that new wave of rap where there's not really much to really talk about because it's all crazy talk. And it is what it is. But as far as being very skilled, Dame is probably the most skilled. AI was not that bad. He wasn't great at all. But AI comes from that culture of hip hop too. So, how do you say it? Every baller want to be a rapper, every rapper want to be a baller. That's all it was. That's all over these guys. Every rapper want to be a basketball player or football player or whatever, and every baller want to be a rapper. It's interchangeable, man.
Yeah, man. But it's crazy because a lot of them, have tried it. I mean, you see Ron Artest, Chris Webber. You know what I'm saying?
And Webber was a good producer. Webber is pretty good producer.
And Webber had a show, that's actually like national, called like Caught in the Web or whatever. And he would like debut like all new rap shit, when he was doing his radio joint. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, like my guys in the Midwest, they would have to actually send it to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I mean, if this was now, you just hit the link yourself and then go listen. But they would actually have to send it to me, you know what I'm saying? They're telling me, oh yeah, this guy from here, and they put me on some new stuff or whatever. So I mean, that was dope, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see the athletes continue to make music, and just perfect what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't treat it like a hobby. Treat it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm balling, but I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna try to, do my best with it, man. You know what I'm saying? I think if they do that, I think, everything will work out just fine.
It's a craft. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, fellas, in our last stretch, let's get ready to lock this thing out. Before we go into our last stretch, let's give a salute, man, to one of the greatest rappers, man. We talking about rappers right now. Let's give a salute to one of the greatest rappers that don't really get spoke of that much. The infamous, man, Ghostface Killah. Celebrated the 25th year anniversary.
Yeah.
Of, in my opinion, a classic album, the Iron Man album.
It was.
This album, man, really inspired me as a youngin', man. This album came out like in '96. I was 16 years old. You guys know I always talk about Ghostface. He's one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's like, Ghostface is like 1B, Nas is 1A, Ghostface is 1B. But man, this album was the album that really got me into fashion. It really got me into trying different things, wearing hair figure with the blue and yellows, wearing wallabies, the chuckers, the beef and broccoli.
Wallows.
Man, that album, man, was the one that got me there, man. That whole album to me was probably the last classic solo album before, out of that first run. Because remember, that first run was amazing.
They all had good albums. You know what I
mean?
All
had great albums. And it makes me sick to my stomach when RZA said in the Breakfast Club last week, when he was saying how Inspector Deck's album got lost in a flood. Their original album, not Uncontrolled Substance that came out like in 98, 99. The original Inspector Deck album. Right. He said that album was on par with Cuban Links, man. And I got sick to my stomach when he said that. I was
when y'all posted that, man, I was so disappointed, man.
I'm gonna tell you, man, Ghostface, I think, is my favorite rap personality of any rapper. Like, I mean, it's just like, when Ghostface does an interview or something like that, I'm like, I'm glued to the TV or the phone, whatever, because he's just gonna tell it like it is. It's gonna be real, but he's gonna do it in such, Ghost like over the top kind of way. Yes. You know what I'm saying? That I'm like, I love Ghostface just for that. I mean, before you even get to the rap, right? And then he come on stage with the fur and like these big chains, and he had the eagle. You know what I mean? Instead of a watch, this boy wearing an eagle. Like, only Ghostface can pull that off. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, as a rap personality, he's my favorite of any rapper ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, man, I'm like, Iron Man was dope. 25th anniversary. We got to see him and Ray on the verses. You know what I'm saying? Which I think was a treat, you know what I mean? For real, for all of us to be able to check that out, man. So salute the Ghost, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, and hopefully, I'm like, he got some more stuff cooking up, whether it's you know what I mean, rap, TV, whatever you doing, you know what I'm saying? Usually I'm going to support it, man, because I love Ghost.
So he is working on Supreme Clientele Part 2.
Okay.
It's going to be produced by, I think by Kanye.
Okay.
And which is kind of interesting. So we'll see how that work out. But, you know, Kanye used Supreme Clientele to make Blueprint for Jay. Yeah. That was his inspiration, that Blueprint. So hopefully Kanye can bring that kind of energy to Supreme Clientele Part 2, because he did a phenomenal job at Blueprint. So hopefully we can get a good Supreme Clientele Part 2 album.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny when you have certain albums that can take you back to a time that once was, man. I remember when this album came out. This was my senior year in high school, and I remember playing this album. I bought this album, the CD, and Marc probably remember this. We were working at a restaurant. We was dishwashers. But
on your Tony Montana.
We had so much. Yeah, we had so much fun on this job, but I remember having this album on repeat. You know, we would, go to school, go to football practice, and go to this job, and have this album on repeat. So I still remember this from when I was just turning 17 years old, man. And you got the Winter Wars, you got Daytona 500. All That I Got Is You is one of my favorite rap songs of all time, man. It's just so soulful. The message and all that shit, man. Love that album. That's probably, if I had 10 rap albums, that would be in my top 6. That's one of the ones that I bought and I loved very dearly.
And he wasn't even rapping. It's like, that song is so soulful. He was really just talking. He's just talking talking to you on the record.
It's about
but you felt it though.
Growing up in the hood,
you felt it.
The struggle.
You felt that.
And the video was like, he had the piano. And him and Meth at the piano. The video was hot, man. I mean,
absolutely.
Again, Ghost was just, man, salute to Ghost 25th anniversary. I'm glad that people are talking about it. I'm glad that they're paying homage to that album. Because it is a classic. Although, like Murph said in our chat earlier today, that he didn't regard that album as his best work. He wasn't fond of that album. Because again, keeping in mind, RZA lost a lot of material in the flood. So as great as Iron Man is today, and we're celebrating it, imagine if RZA did not lose all that material in the flood, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm trying to tell you, because it's crazy because RZA did the interview. Then you see the last episode of Wu-Tang.
Right.
It hurt. Like, man, it's almost like, oh no, come on. You said the pipes were bad. You said the pipes were bad. You know what I'm saying? Why are you working down there? Like, yo, you screaming at your TV.
I would have rather him just leave it out, man. Don't let us know that.
That was too dramatic.
We don't want to know that shit.
Hey, listen. Yo, hey, Stacks, that was too dramatic, man. It was just dramatic to watch it. I will not watch that episode again. Personally, I'm just not going to do it.
No,
it's too dramatic.
It hurts. It felt like when Tyreek shot Ghost, where you like, oh. Like, I would never forgive Tyreek for that, man. So, I would never forget the rusty pipes in RZA's basement, man, because we lost some great material. And we know the story. I mean, we heard the story years ago because he talked about it years and years ago when he was saying that the infamous flood that lost a lot of the Wu-Tang first, that first run, where he had to scramble and make those albums in a deadline. Like, he had to really scramble and make those great albums from scratch. So just imagine it, man.
But the visual hurt, though. I mean, I ain't even gonna lie. The visual, that hurt, man. Like, it's like you heard the story, but then you actually get to see it. Like, oh man, come on.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
So man. But last topic, fellas. The last topic. I know Stacks is excited about this one. I know Tayson, if he's watching, he probably couldn't wait. Man, y'all got man, Jay and LL. Also.
And before we even get to that, first shout to Tina Turner, who also got inducted. What I'm saying, for the legend. Long deserved too. You know what I'm saying? Definitely deserved that.
20 to 30 years overdue.
It's like the second or third time though, fellas. Like, remember she got inducted a few years ago as well for like something else, for like another part of Rock and Roll.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Disregard what I said.
Yeah, but big shout out to Tina Turner.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, Jay. Let's start with Jay. You know, Jay and LL, man. Jay got inducted, man. No surprise. No surprise. I mean, Jay, he's Jay. I mean, what can you say? Right?
I know this is killing you right now, but
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Because I do think it's well deserved, man. One thing that you have to admire about Jay, you know, he's a business. You know what I mean? He's a brand, and he's always been like that. I think rapping for Jay, when he got to a certain level, it was secondary. It was more about the branding of Jay-Z, the branding of him as being a business, and not so much as being a rapper. I think he transitioned from a rapper maybe after Blueprint, because after that
I don't like it, Shawn. I see what you're doing, and I don't like it.
What? I'm just saying. I mean, he said it himself. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Like, that was his whole thing from the beginning. So you got to admire the fact that out of all the rappers that have come through, Jay was probably the one that had foresight to take it to a whole different level. Because other rappers, you know, were more focused on being a rapper. You know, like being your favorite rapper. Jay was about, look, you guys can continue to do that rap shit. I'm going to a whole different level. I'm going to be a business. I'm going to create this conglomerate. I'm going to marry the hottest chick in the game. I'm going to do all these things to build my brand. You know what I mean? Him going out there and getting Beyonce only helped his brand at a time where he ended up getting her fan base. So he inherited that beehive. He inherited all of those suitors who were out there for Beyonce. When she left her father, guess who became like the go-to? It was Jay. All of these moves were business moves for him to continue to build his brand. And look at where he's at right now. He's a billionaire. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's regarded as one of the best that's out there that's ever done it. I mean, you gotta salute to the guy, man. Honestly, you gotta salute the Jay.
Man, you right with that. Right with that, he's a business, because he was kind of, you know, getting off that. You know what I mean? When you listen to like old songs, like Merv and I were talking about, you know what I mean, for like one hit wonders last week, you know what I'm saying? And I brought up the Mill record, you know what I mean? And even Jay-Z on that, he like 80 mil, like 18 months. You can bullshit with rap if you want, motherfucker. Like, he was letting you know right then, like, listen, man, y'all, that's what y'all can do. I'm gonna get this bread. Like, yeah, I mean, we gonna do our thing. You know what I'm saying? So, Jay was thinking like that long time ago.
Long time ago. So you gotta respect his hustle, man. You gotta. Jay he's truly a hustle. He's a hustle guy. He always been like that, man. So, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it makes sense for him. Honestly.
What do you mean by that, though? I don't like the way you said that. You said it makes sense for him. What does that mean?
It makes sense for him. Yeah. It makes. Here's the thing. It took LL too long to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and LL is more closely knitted to that rock and roll elk than Jay is. Jay is a true rapper. Jay is a legit rapper. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is very tricky, right? And what I mean by that is you don't have rappers that constantly go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
The reason why LL got into it finally, again, LL been nominated every year for the past, I think, 10 years. He finally got into it. LL music from Def Jam back then with the Beastie Boys, LL, Run DMC, all of those guys, they blended rap and rock and roll at that time because all the LL music back then was like still laden as like a rock type of jam. Jay don't have that much. He don't have no rock music in his catalog. He has that one joint with him and Lenny Kravitz. You know, Guns N' Roses.
He had that joint with Rick Rubin. You know what I mean?
Rick Rubin. Those are the two things that's on his and he also had that Linkin Park joint.
Linkin Park. I wonder if you were gonna mention that. I wasn't gonna say that.
He got those, but they considered something of a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame accolade, right? So again, it makes sense for Jay to be a part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's another honorary notch under his belt, to be quite honest. He's a billionaire. You're going to put him in there. You got to put him in there. If you're going to put LL in there, you got to find a way to get Jay in there as well.
And Jay, you know, he has the accolades, you know, to get in there. 14 number one albums and, you know, a gazillion records sold and all of that.
21 Grammys. That's the most in rap, by the way. I can put that at 20.
So, I mean,
21, 22.
You know, And the thing is,
like
yeah, I
what?
mean, for real, like, his music spans, over 3 decades. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, you gotta give him that. But I think, Shawn pointed out something, you know what I mean, for that I think is cool about it. He's like really a true rapper. And he's
Yeah.
in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm just like, man, so this could open the door for other, guys who are
Yeah.
true rappers,
Yeah.
for a true spitters, I'm saying,
Yeah.
for who will get this honor, for at some point. So I'm just like, man, it's good that Jay, was able to kind of, I'm saying, I won't say pave the way, but open the door, I'm saying, for real, for true rappers, I'm saying, to get this honor. You know what I mean? And that's respect right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait to see when they put another rapper in before I say that he paved the way, and not a diss to Jay, but it's like when Jay said, I think in My Lifetime Volume 3, when he was like damn, I forgot the bars, when it was like I know why y'all put me on these magazines. You put me on the cover of this magazine to sell. You know that song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in music, a lot of times is business moves and it's about money.
Absolutely.
So rock and roll choosing Jay-Z is helping rock and roll probably way more than the fuck is helping Jay-Z.
Absolutely.
So like I said, I gotta see if it's pave away because it's Jay-Z. Like the motherfucker's gonna pull. Just like back then, they put him on a fucking cover magazine. They know that he's gonna fucking sell. It's Jay-Z. So right now, I'm looking at it like it was more of a business move, and you can't put Jay-Z in without putting LL in. So it's almost like they help each other out.
Facts.
Right? So this is why LL got in this time, because like, yo, we want to bring in Jay-Z. That's gonna open the door for rock and roll. But LL doing this motherfucker 10 times. And it's like, okay, we've been voting yes for LL. Right. And we're gonna vote for Jay. Then y'all need to meet us. Y'all need to give us the yes votes to LL. And I feel like there's a like I say, this is no knock to Jay. This is the Brent. This is the right now.
Jay was the first ballot. He was the first ballot Hall of Famer too.
Being Jay-Z biased because it's not all. Yeah, the first ballot. I'm just saying, Jay-Z brand is so motherfucking big. It's almost like Jay-Z said, we don't need the fucking NFL. We in the fucking NFL. We brought the NFL to us. We're in stadiums. Same kind of concept. He don't need rock and roll. I feel like the rock and roll can use Jay-Z and it's benefit Jay-Z more than Jay-Z benefit off the rock and roll shit.
Very well said, Merv. Very well said. And that's what it is. I mean, Jay said it himself. He kind of flexed during his speech, which I thought was a great speech. I mean, he showed how witty he is. But Jay even flexed for himself. He told the story about Obama reaching out to him, saying, "Hey, I need your help to get these votes." That's a flex. He threw that out there. How Obama hit him on the jack and said, "Look, I need you to go to this state and this state because I need your help to push these votes through." And that was him showing you how strong he really is as a brand, not as Jay-Z the rapper, but as Shawn Carter the brand. And that's what he showed. And again, he hitched himself to Beyonce, who is by far the most dominating personality in the music business, period. Hasn't dropped the album in how many years? But when she finally says something, people listen. So you put yourself part of that brand and you marry those two brands together, it becomes a true conglomerate. And like Merv said, this only helps the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This does nothing for Jay because there's not a true hip hop Hall of Fame, which is ridiculous to me. I think the closest thing they got is what the BET Hall of Fame or BET Awards, which no one takes seriously. There's not a true prestigious hip hop Hall of Fame. So you put Jay in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, first ballot, mind you. Forget what LL has accomplished as an artist and a groundbreaking artist at that. You make Jay your first ballot and you brought LL on as a toe. It helps Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and not Jay.
So to put it more in perspective, if Jay didn't get in this year, and it was just LL, we wouldn't have saw no headlines. And I honestly don't think we've been talking about it tonight. Rock and roll know what they're doing. They bring in, they're getting a. This is kind of like open the door for more expanding the genre of fans, the minority of fans, to start paying them attention.
You would think that Jay-Z, the way y'all talking, you would think that he never rapped before in his fucking life. That's what I'm getting from this whole thing.
What?
That's how you and Shawn sound right now.
Hold up, you know what? Mark, do you? I can't talk to you. Mark, do you understand? I can't talk to you right now.
No, what I'm saying is y'all act like this dude never spit bars. Y'all act like this nigga ain't one of the greatest rappers of all time right now. That's how y'all acting.
I said he was.
Wait, Shawn, please let me take this. What the fuck is you talking about right now? I just said
the business. This has nothing to do with rap. This is business acumen. He's brand and all that shit. Fuck the records that he made. Fuck the Grammys, all the other shit.
You done?
Where he actually rapping and shit like that. You know, that really doesn't mean anything. It's just Jay-Z, so they had to throw him in there. That's the fuck you're saying right now.
Are you done? Let me know when you're done.
Yes, and I'm listening to you motherfuckers as well. Because this is fucking blasphemy right here. This is fucking the unmitigated goal for y'all to disrespect like this.
Ah, shit.
Wow.
And your little LL Kango loving ass. That's the reason why you and Shawn set this shit up. I guarantee it.
Like this motherfucker must be talking that water bottle because this nigga ain't understanding shit. Like he's really not comprehending right now.
I understand everything you're saying. I just think it's bullshit. I'm sorry.
If you say it's bullshit, then you not fucking listening, nigga. You ain't comprehend to understand a motherfucking thing I said in the last goddamn 15 minutes.
I gotta agree with you now.
Because no, because
like
you arguing against me when I'm saying the same thing you just said, motherfucker.
You're not.
Just said the same thing.
I just said rock and roll is putting him in. You know what? Maybe you know what? How Jay-Z said, I got to dumb it down for you and make them love you. Okay, maybe I got to dumb it down. Maybe I'm talking like Nas. My bad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not understanding the bullshit that I write. Okay, let me dumb it down for you. My bad. That what I was saying is Jay-Z is so great of a rapper, and he has the black people. He is so great of a rapper, and he has such a black following. Being that great of a rapper, rock and roll is bringing what is considered the greatest rap of all time today living into the rock and roll to get the black population to follow rock and roll. So they're bringing hip hop, the greatest hip hop alive person, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to get more minorities and black people to start following rock and roll. But the LL fans of the rock and roll that was voting him to get in, it was like, that's fine if we're gonna bring in Jay-Z, but we also need to bring in LL. If you want my votes as well, this is a package deal, is what I was saying. I said it was a business deal is because they were like, you know what? We need to go after the most known, branded, greatest, arguably greatest rapper alive right now, Jay-Z. Put him in, and guess what? Now we got more black people, we got more hip hop, we got more following than we had because we just got one of the dopest, greatest alive rappers, and we're gonna bring him in. Did that make sense to you? Did you understand that?
I wasn't listening to shit you said. I was waiting for you to be done, man. Continue.
I'll say like this though, right? I think personally, when you say like, oh yeah, it doesn't do anything for Jay, I disagree, man. You know what I mean? Because Jay loves the flex, especially you know what I mean when he do shit that other motherfuckers ain't do. He gonna let you know about it. Guarantee you when Jay has his next song, yo, I'm in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and y'all bum ass niggas ain't. Like, trust me.
No,
Jay's gonna mention that.
No, I was saying that this benefits rock and roll more than it benefits Jay.
Oh
Jay,
yeah, I agree with that.
Jay definitely is going to use it and talk shit. But I was just saying rock and roll benefits more from this induction than Jay-Z benefits from this induction.
Absolutely.
Right. Because
I'm like, man, you know, just him showing up with his wife is a flex.
Right.
You know what I mean? Them showing up as a flex, you know what I mean? And I guess who did? I think what Chappelle did his introduction or
okay.
Yeah, you know that's a flex. Like that's a flex. Like
you get the controversy, and this is so Jay. You get the most controversy guy right now to do your intro. Dave Chappelle, you showing clout. You got Beyonce as your wife. And he told us saying that every song he's rapped the past 5 years now, and it's another B and another B. Don't forget the other B. So he said that all the time. So now we're gonna add in. I got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but don't forget about the other B. So you're going to hear these in his next couple of rhymes that he's gonna flex on, and Tayson and they're gonna go crazy when they hear that. They're like bars. And y'all know it. They're like bars. And like he just said Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and then B. Bars. And that's all Jay is doing right now is flexing. And again, I salute Jay. All right, Jay is one of the greatest.
After you just shitted on him for like 30 minutes. But you salute him.
Hey, Shawn, this is your fault. Hey, Shawn, this is why that motherfucker wasn't listening to me. Because I was actually saying I was actually being objective and saying non-biased shit. I should have went first. Because the only thing he heard was he turned into fucking Charlie Brown, want. Yeah. After you started talking, and he automatically think everything was because of your ass.
But everything I said was
I was being objectively and giving the nigga props.
Me too.
A lot of it was
but because
slick distance. Shawn is trying to slick distance Jay-Z ever since the pod started. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. Let's address the elephant in the room. This dude has been sneak this and slick this and Jay-Z. This is what Shawn does. Shawn would tell you, hey man, you did a good fucking job. I remember like 10 years ago I did the same shit and 10 times better, but congratulations, no less. That's what Shawn does.
You got me mixed up. And
I really don't.
And I apologize. That way. I apologize you feel that way.
I don't need this self-loathing bullshit, man. This is what we're not going to do. You're not going to patronize me, and you're not going to be self-loathing. It's not going to work on me. I see what you're doing. You apologize if you feel this way. Hey, fuck you and your apology.
Look, man. I get it. These emotions you feeling, they're different because Jay is he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Nas is not, right? Nas is a rapper's rapper. He's not going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Those guys don't get in there. Nas, Rakim, KRS-One, those guys don't get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They don't reach the criteria, right? But Jay does. He reached the criteria to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And more power to him. I'm glad in his speech that he gave Dame Dash a shout out. I think that was really big of him. I think that everything that they went through and they're still going through, he's still suing the pants off of Dame Dash right now. To give Dame a nod, I thought that was A1, honestly. Even to circle back on Twitter, because we know that because Tayson shared that with us. He circled back on Twitter and gave Jazzo a shout out, saying, look, we've been through our thing, whatever. Shout out to Jazzo because he was the hometown hero. I thought that was very classy of Jay. But again, Jay is like a politician. He get these guys to get on his side, and that's what he has to do at this point in his career.
I was about to say I don't know how genuine those shout outs are.
Right. He's a politician. He's doing the thing that he's supposed to do.
Stacks. We know Jay. You really think those shit genuine?
Not at all.
Stacks, that's a real question.
But you know what?
I've never seen us bash somebody that's been celebrated on such a high level so much.
To me, I think Jay over the years, just seeing how he operated, especially with the Philly guys, right?
Yeah,
it's more like even if he's not on good terms with you for that brief time, I think they find a way to get on good terms later down the line. Like when Jay and Beans was going through their thing. For who did Jay reach out to? Freeway. You know what I'm saying? Who did for when they squashed it? For he used Free to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, Jay has these type of relationships where it's like a mutual friend, where it's like, all right, my bad for doing this. You know what I mean? And then they'll find a way to squash it. And then after that, it's no animosity the way it once was. Like Jay does that.
I'll have to see Jay and Dame in the same place together, showing each other love like he did with Beanie, because Beanie ended up coming on the stage, they hugged, boom, 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 and it was like, you know what I'm saying? And even afterwards, they spoke on it.
Yeah, right. And you know what, Merv? That might happen. That would be because Jay finds a way to do that. Jay finds a way to do that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
If I don't see that,
of course you don't.
I'm like, man, you know.
Hey, man. Hey, listen. I need you. Hey, Mark, I need Stacks to join. I need Stacks to find a Jay-Z fan club and join it. Like, you need to go. I'll get you a Jay-Z shirt for Christmas.
No, Tayson know it. Tayson part of the
Well, you know what, Mark? You know what you can get me for Christmas? You can get the fuck up out my face for Christmas. That's what you get me. That's what you get me. That's the gift that keeps on giving. None of that shit.
We are paying Jay homage. I think,
man.
We're putting him homage right now. Yo. This is what you call homage right now?
Because I think that Jay showed vulnerability even in his speech. He made a comment. He said, my second album, and he laughed. He was like, my second album? That was a mistake. Like he said it himself. Because
was that Sunshine? That was that.
It was.
I
brought up like 50 million times.
And I know what boys like. I know what boys like. Like Sunshine. This dude got a song called I Know What Boys Like. I know what boys like. But check this out. He paid, look, he acknowledged that. He said, look, that was a mistake because I tried to go a route that wasn't for me. And he was like, I was going to quit rap after that, but I kept going. I saw something, I jumped on it. I jumped on another bandwagon on the Rough Riders because Rough Riders movement came very strong. He jumped on that. And he talked about it in his speech. He said the Annie beat came out. It wasn't supposed to go to him, but he took it from Irv Gotti, who pretty much helped him. Then he said the blueprint. Yeah, I stole that from Kanye. That was from Kanye after I took it. And he talked about that. He said the Philly guys, my Philly team, it goes wrong for me during that time, and I needed some creativity. And I'm glad that he showed that vulnerability in his speech, man. And that tells me right there that Jay has grown a lot, because back in the day, you would never get that kind of honesty out of Jay. He would never tell you that his second album was trash. He would never tell you that Magna Carta was trash. He would never tell you those things. He would always say that was some of my best work. I had some misses here and there, but it was still some of my best work. But Jay was very vulnerable in that speech, man. So again, shout out to Jay. One of the greatest rappers of all time. Definitely, one of the best businessmen out there from a rapper perspective. He killed it, man. He's killing it. Content-wise, he can't rap to save his life right now, but that's neither here nor there. He's still doing his thing, man. But
he doesn't have to rap. He doesn't have anything to prove. Like now, so it's going to be 60 making records trying to get up to 2 Grammys. So, but Grammys don't mean nothing.
It's not about
until Nas gets one.
It's not about Grammys, man. It's about quality music.
But Nas may get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though. If we basing it off of his Grammy frequency, it'll be posthumously. So, I mean, he'll get in there one day.
He won't, because he's a rapper's rapper.
So what the fuck does that even mean? What is rappers, man?
Of course.
Go on start for Nas. You made a great album in 2021. Jay-Z can't make no album in 2021. That's the fuck Shawn said.
So you don't know what a rapper's rapper is? I'm sorry to hear that. Good show tonight, fellas. And that's another B.
I hope they send you back where the fuck you came from, man. This has been a terrible night. Man. We didn't have this much negativity the entire time you were gone. So whatever rough you crawled your ass up from under, please kindly go back there.
That is very disrespectful.
No, I'm just playing.
But shout out to the other GOAT. Queens Get the Money, LL, finally got into the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Salute, man. Salute to Tina Turner. It's a damn shame that Tina Turner got this, had to wait until Jay-Z get inducted for her to get inducted.
Oh my God.
Despite everything that she's done for rock and roll, specifically for rock and roll. Oh my goodness. Ike Turner might be turning in his grave right now because of this. But anyhow, man, yo, good show tonight, fellas. I'm so glad to be back. Thank you guys for holding things down for the past 5 to 6 weeks. Mervin out here sweating like a sweat hog, man, on every show, popping up on everything, man. And this dude was like a one-man army out here, man, on every single show, every single week, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate, Marc, just keeping the vibes going, man, coming with the content and just doing his thing, man. Appreciate that, man. And just really taking the reins on the vibes, man. Really definitely appreciate that. And shout out to Stacks, man, for just holding on, man.
I don't need anything you about to say about me right now, man. You done bad. You go just close it out, man, because I don't believe anything you say is going to be genuine or anything like that. You're a terrible human being, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. Let's end it like that.
I would have given you your flowers, man.
No, because you know what? These flowers are going to be fucking frayed and fucking rotten because you're going to find some kind of way to take a shot at me. So you know what, man? Let's just end the show. I don't feel like the bullshit tonight. Let's
But can I get your flowers?
Go ahead. Do what you do, man. Go ahead.
Man, shout out to Stacks, man. Finally got a chance to meet Stacks face to face, man. We actually shook hands, man, broke bread. Went to Texas Roadhouse, man. Stacks had about 4 of those on those rolls, man. We really broke bread. And we had a good time, man. Had a really good conversation about life. We were supposed to go to Boston together, but he had to take an emergency flight back home. But I still went to Boston and enjoyed myself out there in Boston. But man, shout out to Stacks for just being a trooper, man. And just really holding things down and doing what he do, man. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to Tayson. I know he's excited about the Eagles winning. He thought that the Cowboys were going to lose. He actually posted in the chat Dak injury, and we end up losing, and Taysom went silent again. So shout out to that dude, man. He's a huge Jay-Z fan. He posted like 7 different erroneous Jay-Z articles yesterday. This shit's so mad old. Like Tayson has this thing where every single week he posts the same Jay-Z song, Dear Summer, every single week in the post.
That shit was a hot freestyle, little man. You
have to post it every fucking week. Like
you're right. that we can agree on.
Like he literally posted every single week, Dear Summer, like it's a new song. But shout out to Tayson, man. I hope he's all right, man. He's gonna do some things as well. I hope he's doing all right.
What do you mean he's going through some things? What does that mean?
I don't even know.
You foul, man.
Just go with it, man. Just go with it.
He said, just go with it.
just go with it, man. But real talk, man. I appreciate you guys, man. I'm gonna flip it over to Marc, man. Let Marc take us out of here, man. Merv is really a true Jamaican, man. That dude was really working his ass off, man, on this pod thing, man. So you gotta get that brother his flowers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? For real, I think Merv took it to another level. You know what I mean? For real, just doing like I think he was on all 4 shows. I think he was on the show with Tina B. Like, you know what I mean? I think he was on that too.
Yo, Merv, you know what I'm saying? Shows, man. Merv was on other podcasts out there. He was on podcasts to hop on, man.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man. Nah, you know what? Because I think, because like, here's the thing. Like, I remember doing all 3 shows before, man. But I think Merv went up me. He's like, I'm gonna do about 5 or 6 shows. If he can do 3, I can do about 6. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this ain't even the guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just see Merv pop up on your TV. Yo, I'm repping the guys. I'm like, oh my God, Merv's here too. You know what I'm saying? All over the place, man. So that's love, man. But yo, shout to all our sponsors, man. You know what I'm saying? Blackjack TV, Bobby Blackjack, you know what I mean? For real, what's that? Prime Sports, or you know what I mean? Premier Sports, or I'm forgetting, you know what I mean, the whole joint. You know what I mean? But y'all know what I'm talking about.
Wagering Network, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? For 1 Mile High Radio, you know what I mean? Y'all always checking in with us. Facebook, YouTube, you know what I'm saying, man? Shout to the whole team, the guys, Street Team General Tayson, TNT, you know what I'm saying? Becca, Nick, You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, and you know what? You know what I mean? For something, you know what I mean, we're going to talk about on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? We got to bring Nick on for that because we had a nice exchange. Well, she had a nice exchange in the comments on something I posted. But I'm trying to tell you, I want to hear Nick's live reaction because she's going to flamethrow this bull on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So, Nick, if you out there, Nick, you got to come on Wednesday. You got to kill this bull. He don't be coming on the guy's page starting shit. Get out of here, bull. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, y'all be but yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Merv looking for fresh meat to go after, man. So don't get him started.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm trying to tell you, matter of fact, I'll tell you what post it is.
Ready to be with the shit. Look at him.
No, when I'm posting that Dirty Mac joint, you know what I mean, with Jermaine Jackson, you got to see Nick's exchange with the ball. You know what I mean? For Nick was giving it that ball left and right. You know what I mean? But she going to have to share that live.
Fucking asshole, by the way.
Yo, boy, you know what I mean? Yo, boy, I don't know your name, you know what I mean? But you going to get flamed on Wednesday. Trust me. You know what I mean? We letting it go. You know what I mean? We calling you by name too, boy. You know what I mean? Understand that. We calling you by name in this joint, man.
And another B.
No, but anyway, man, shoot. Shout to everybody rocking with us, man. We gonna be right back tomorrow. We talking BMF, man. If you have not been up on BMF, I suggest you get on that. You know what I mean? For Lamar's crazy. You know what I mean? For people now are really starting to sing to people before they stab them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, so that's what's going on, man. But we get more into that tomorrow with BMF. Power Book 2 is coming back this month. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, man, so we getting into that too, man. So it's a lot going on, man. And so I'm just like, man, and I think TNT is back this week. I think they're back this week, this Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So we got the Wednesday show. You know what I mean? Merv, what are we talking about on Wednesday?
We're talking about how we went from black families from 1960s to the current version of black families today.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy. Definitely interesting, man. And everybody got opinions on that. So, you know what I'm saying? Check that out. You know what I'm saying? And yo, man, I mean, man, hey, it's gonna be lit this week, man. So, check us out, man. You know what I mean? For all week, man. And that's it, man. I mean, we up out of here, all right?
Hey, well, there's a post on our Facebook about the Wednesday topic. It's already
in there.
Some exchanges, already some deep responses on this. So if you wanted to talk about your response, go ahead post in the Facebook group. We're gonna talk about all that on Wednesday.
All right, bet. All right, yo. You know what I'm saying? We out.
Peace. And another B. Don't forget the other B.